Before this year officially disappears, take a second and really think about how fast 2025 moved. One moment we were watching old shows come back stronger than ever. Viral moments looping endlessly on our screens. And now we're standing at the edge of a brand new year. 2025 wasn't just a collection of trends. It was a year of resets, burnouts, comebacks, and quiet personal battles that never made it online. In the next few minutes, we're going to compress an entire year into the moments that mattered. The things that defined our screens, our habits, and our mindset. More importantly, we're going to talk about what we're done carrying forward. Because right now, everyone is asking the same question: what stays in 2025, and what actually deserves to follow us into 2026? This isn't just another recap video or prediction list. This is about reflection, clarity, and momentum. From the rapid-fire highlights that define the culture, to the ins and outs shaping the next year, to the real results of the winter arc, that quiet season, where discipline mattered more than motivation, this video is meant to help you close one chapter properly before opening the next. Because the people who win in 2026 aren't the ones chasing a fresh start. They're the ones who understand exactly what they're building on. 2025 felt like a year that lived at double speed, where entire cultural moments rose and fell in weeks instead of months. That's why the 2025 in 15 seconds trend hit so hard. It wasn't just about fast edits or nostalgia, it was about realizing how much we consumed and how little we actually processed. Shows like Squid Game didn't just return, they reminded us how global attention now moves instantly, while releases like the Minecraft movie proved that nostalgia is one of the strongest currencies on the internet. But alongside the big moments were countless micro-trends, viral sounds, memes, and headlines that blurred together, creating a feeling of constant stimulation and quiet exhaustion. The real takeaway from this rapid-fire year isn't which trend went viral, but how quickly we moved on from everything, and how that speed shaped our attention, our patience, and our expectations going forward. As the year winds down, the conversation naturally shifts to what we were leaving behind and what we were intentionally carrying forward. And that's where the ins and outs mindset for 2026 takes over. Out are the habits that looked productive but drained us: burnout culture, overworking for aesthetics, chasing every new trend just to stay relevant, and confusing motion with progress. In our slower, more intentional systems, sustainable routines, focusing on fewer goals with more consistency, and using tools like AI not to replace creativity, but to support it. 2026 isn't shaping up to be about doing more. It's about doing what matters longer, and the people already thinking this way aren't waiting for January 1st to start acting differently. This shift became especially clear through the rise of the Great Lock-in, also known as the Winter Arc, where people quietly committed to finishing the year strong instead of mentally checking out, while the internet usually treats December as a write-off. The Winter Arc flipped that idea by focusing on discipline when motivation was low. Some people hit personal records. Others missed targets completely, but almost everyone learned the same lesson: consistency during the hardest season builds confidence faster than any hype-driven goal. The results weren't always dramatic, but they were real. And they exposed how powerful small daily actions can be when no one is watching. When you connect all of this together, the speed of 2025, the clarity of what we're leaving behind, and the quiet discipline of the Winter Arc, a clear pattern emerges. The next year won't reward chaos or constant reinvention. It will reward refinement. The people who grew the most weren't the loudest or the most viral. They were the ones who slowed down just enough to understand what worked and what didn't. And that understanding is what turns reflection into momentum as we step into 2026. As 2025 comes to an end, the most important thing to remember is that this year doesn't need to be judged as good or bad for it to be valuable. Every trend we watched, every goal we hit or missed, and every moment we thought we were falling behind was quietly teaching us something about how we move, what we chase, and what actually lasts. The shift into 2026 isn't about becoming a new person overnight or erasing everything that didn't work. It's about carrying forward the clarity you earned by living through the noise. The highlights fade, The viral moments move on, but the habits you built, the discipline you tested, and the lessons you learned don't reset at midnight. If there's one takeaway from this reflection, it's that progress doesn't need a dramatic restart. It needs direction, so as the calendar flips, don't rush to reinvent yourself. Refine what already works, release what doesn't, and move forward with intention, because the strongest version of you in 2026 won't come from chasing the next trend. It will come from understanding the journey that brought you here and choosing to build on it. One focused step at a time. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more.